Hello everybody, how y'all doing? I'm DC. You can find me all over the internet, DC Lasair. !DC in chat will pull up my website, my Blue Sky. Follow me on the things. That'd be awesome. You did. JD Lady, Brian, hello. Welcome on in. Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well on this Friday. I caused myself a little strain just before they turned on the camera, so took a minute. Nick, thank you for the resub. Hi. Welcome on in. All right. Oh, I need to turn this up. There we go. And shut off the music for now. So, hope you're doing good. Welcome to the weekend. We will get to Tech Friday in just a minute. I be streaming everywhere I should be streaming, so that's great. And captions appear to be working. Yay. Okay. Look at that. What everything's working? What? At least for now. Amazing. Okay. Where are my notes? I moved my windows around because I'm trying a little different setup. So now I'm like, where are my notes? They're right in front of me. Right in front of me. All right. We got a variety of things to talk about, but eventually we'll get to the no folder TTRPG vault. And actually you can do it for anything. It doesn't have to be for TTRPGs, but if you use Obsidian, this will work for anything you do. Well, just about anything you do. There's probably some things you wouldn't want to use it for, but, you know. Like, say, it may not be the best idea if you're writing a novel. You may want a little more organization of chapters and things like that. Maybe. I don't know. All right. One moment, please. My back decides to cooperate or not. All right. Okay. Everything ready to go? I think so. Do a quick blue sky check. All right, that's all on. Yay! Okay, let's get into it. It's your favorite part of the week. It's time for Tech Friday. Yay! On today's show, title: They're not going to pay for AI music. New graphics card enters the market, or at least wants to. What's going on with Sony and Xbox, Microsoft? And use an Obsidian Vault without folders. Embrace the chaos. All right, first up. Tidal, the online streaming service, has joined a couple other streaming services. And they will not be paying out to AI music. There's the article. Let me make sure I hit the right button. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Hello. Welcome on in. Good to see you. So, let's close that window there. So as you can see, you can still upload AI music. However, they will slap a tag on it that's 100% AI generated. And they won't be given royalties to any of that. So yay. As you can see, Deezer is doing this as well. That they're demonetizing their stream. And Spotify, as a way of doing this, as you get a verified by Spotify badge if you're human. Not that Spotify won't give music to AI companies, but at least you can tell what is and is not AI, probably for the most part. I don't know if you've experienced any of these new markings on things. Let me know how they've worked for you. But yeah, that was some welcome news. Moving along, there is a company that wants to enter into the GPU market called Bolt Graphics. They have an idea for a product. It's not available yet, but they have a lot of things. Look, you can bring your ideas to life. And they're calling their GPU Zeus, Bolt, Zeus. We get it. Look, you can plug it in a couple places. And you can read about all their architecture and design. And they say all the markety things, an innovative solution for every creative need, right? Can see how it works. And they have some overviews on all their stuff. So yeah. Fortunately, it got caught sharing an AI YouTube thing. Fortunately, a friend pointed out how to spot them. Amazing. That's wonderful. All right. Moving along to video games, which is weird. I Obsidian let me spell video games like VIDYA, and it didn't spell check it. So okay. But first up, Sony. We got a couple things around Sony. Oh, Sony. First of all, they're going to stop making disc-based PlayStation games starting 2028. Because, you know, owning things, it's the way of the past. This article is on Engadget. Now, they claim it's because people aren't really buying physical discs anymore. Whether that's true or not, we don't know, because I don't think Sony shares that data. But yeah, shifting trends in consumer preference. And, I mean, to be fair, I don't really buy physical games anymore. I have a Steam library of games that I haven't touched yet. However, Some people want the physical games, and they should be able to get them. And we can get into a whole thing about, archiving and who does that serve, and once you pass on, what happens to that stuff? Is that collection going to someone who cares? All these things. But right now, today, if it's what you want, you should be able to get a physical copy of the disc. And also, the closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 and PS Vita. We often see this with older video game consoles that have digital storefronts. They're like, yeah, we're not really getting sales through these, and it will cost us more to maintain than it's worth. So we're shutting them down. No surprise that this is happening there. Which is exactly why we want to be able to have physical copies, right? Stopped buying physical media many years ago, but I've been reconsidering that decision since they can just remove stuff from my libraries, reconsidering just in time for it to no longer be an option. Yeah. And speaking of digital content removal, courtesy of Ars Technica, we have Sony, once again, informing PlayStation customers in the UK that Studio Canal movies will be removed because of a licensing deal that no longer exists. And so that goes into effect in September. Now, this article does point out that it's possible Sony may still make a deal with Studio Canal by September 1st or afterwards, but unless something changes, that stuff's going away. Just like in 2023, Sony said it would have to pull all these seasons of Discovery shows from libraries, but they made a deal with Discovery. However, we shouldn't be having to worry about this. This is stuff we've purchased. And when it comes to movies and things and shows, if I really like it, I'm buying it. I'm getting a physical copy. If I want to watch it again, I will buy a physical copy. If I watch a lot of things. I watch a lot of things online. Streaming is great for me because I watch so much stuff. And then it was good, but then I don't go back and watch it again. So it has to be something really special for me to go get a physical copy to want to watch it whenever. However, we should still have the option to get physical discs for things and own it. If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing has become an increasingly relevant refrain. Yeah. And then amongst all this stuff going on of people losing things and Sony killing off the game discs and all that, Xbox is reportedly testing a way to digitize your disc-based games. And this is on Engadget. Now, this is for Xbox One and Xbox Series X only. You'll not see games for the original Xbox or Xbox 360. And not every Xbox One game may be in this. So you won't need to keep a disc in your Xbox to play the respective game. It bonds a digital version of the game to its physical disc, whatever that means. Put the disc in another Xbox and the digital copy will follow suit to an account linked to that system. So you can't really trade the game necessarily because, the account has to be linked to the copy. So it's maybe a little better, but not great. So the disc becomes a dongle. Yes, exactly, fool. The disc becomes a dongle. Yep. There's another thing to carry around. Right? And then, future video game consoles not having a disc drive is also a possibility. Again, for my purposes, I haven't used the disc drive in quite a few years now, so I'm clearly not the market for physical media, at least as far as video games are concerned. But again, you should still be able to get it if you want it. All right. Moving right along. Here is a long article. And I'm not going to put this up on the screen, but it's a good read. It is how to talk about AI without adding to the anthropomorphization of it. That, I had that word down yesterday. Anyway, that word. Check out that article. It's a longer article, but it's a good read. And it's just talking about AI and how, it's not exactly intelligence. And we've talked about this before. And it gives you other terms to use instead of like it's thinking or something like that. So it brings up a lot of alternatives to keep in mind. This isn't an actual intelligence. This is software doing a function. So in an example, instead of the model shows bias, the model reflects bias, model mistakes, model errors. Chatbots are good for, instead of hallucination, undesirable output. It's changing the language we use so that we keep recognizing that this is just software and not actual intelligence. So if you want to change how you talk about it, go there. It's a good article. About doing said thing. And they mentioned that yes, some of their recommendations will take a little longer to say, but it's their position that it's worth it. And then at the very bottom is they do have a book called the AI Con. There's an ad for it at the bottom of the article. So yeah, attempting to speak about AI without using terms that relate more to humans. And it is. It's a well thought out article doing all that. Okay. So we got through the video game news, we got through the AI stuff. Now we get into Obsidian. Yay! And my idea for a no folder TTRPG vault. All right, so excited. Yeah, right? This is great, y'all. So if you want to download Obsidian, once again, it's at obsidian.md. It's a note-taking everything program that I use for all my creative endeavors. And as you know, I also have a TTRPG campaign vault that lets you share info with your players, as well as gives you a structure to put things in. But then, the other day, I thought, what if I got rid of folders? How could I do that? And this is something that's kind of been in the back of my mind. I've seen other videos and read things about people doing Obsidian vaults without folders. But it came back up into my mind the other day. And I go, wait, I have it. So I may release another version. I don't know. This might just be for me. I'm not sure yet. However, I want to share how I do it. So, first, a few things that Obsidian has that make this possible. And I'll show you these in a moment, but I want to get through the links first. So Obsidian has something called properties. The individual files are called notes. And properties are at the top of notes. So this idea uses properties because then you use Obsidian bases, which is their term for databases, to filter by these properties. Before you get to the how, could you talk for a moment about the why? What's the motivation to go folderless? Yeah, but we have kitty time, so. This is my kitty Hannah. She puts up with me. Nick and JD Lady say hi. Hi. Hello. Yes. Yes. Oh, you want to get down now. Okay. There you go. All right. Nick, I'll answer your question right after I take care of the cat, so be right back. I love when she puts up with cuddles for a little longer than usual. Yeah. Be right back. All right. Thanks for sticking around, everyone, while I took care of my cat. And let me organize a couple windows here. I want to make sure I can see all the things I need to be able to see. I really should put another monitor into this setup. All right. There we go. Okay, so the question was, what's the motivation to go folderless? One, I thought was a fun experiment. Two, there are some note-taking apps that don't use folders, that just, you sort with tags and everything. And I want to say Capacities does this. I don't remember. One of them does. I'm like, okay. And then I saw Capano, the CEO of Obsidian, has an article out talking about, how he doesn't use folders or uses very few folders. And for me, sometimes folder structure is just extra organization. It's extra mental stuff. And if I don't have to worry about that, that's great. Like, because sometimes I can get subfolders deep into a thing and like, wait, where does this go? What did I call that? So I just kind of eliminate that step and lets you define your own search criteria. Yeah, that too. And so this is more of an experiment thing. I don't know if I'll actually release this, but I might start using it on my own. It's very fun. And things are still organized. They're just not organized with folders. That makes sense. Thank you. I like tags because of the one-to-many relationship with folders. At some point I will get to, does this go here or there, right? Yeah, and so with properties in Obsidian, one of those properties can be tags. So if you don't want to use a property and you just want to use tags to organize things, you can do that too. Because properties covers a lot of whatever you want, really. And I'll get into that. So let's take a look what we got here. So here is the big view, and I'll zoom in on things. Now this is a note with two database views in it, characters and locations. So characters, we have Joe Smith and Robert Bob Business. And then over here in the outline, since I made the characters and locations titles, I can drag these in whatever order I want. If I want locations up top, I can do that. If I want characters back up top, I can just drag locations back down. And so this is a note with two bases in it. Now what I started with is over here, and you can kind of see the structure I'm going with. So I have my DM info. That's a note. That'll have the databases for me. Then I have the player info, which will have the databases for my players. And then I have two actual base notes of the master base and then the bases for the players. And then here's the regular entries, right? So there's the location, there's the two people. I have, now you could add, if you want this to look nicer, you could add a folder and just name it everything. or something like that, and then just dump all these things into a folder. Now, I number these things because it will keep them organized this way in Obsidian without any extra plugins. If you do 01 or 02, 03, 04, that kind of thing. Otherwise, it will put these in order and you can't really reorder them, or won't stay reordered. But if you add the number, you can do that. Now, you can get a community plugin or two that will allow you to manually sort things. But yeah, so you could do this with one folder just to make this look nice and keep going. So what I did was I started with the base, which when you want to create a base, you go right here on the left bar and you click create new base, and it'll make a base. And so here is, you know, the master base, and I have two views that you already saw in that note. There's all my locations and all my characters. Same thing here, but you can divide up the separate views in a note. Let's see if I can show you the code. So if you hit the bang, double bracket, what base you're using, and then after what base you're using, you hit the pound sign, and then you type the view of the base. That's all that will show up here. So if you want to add a base to an individual note or a certain view, that's the syntax. And so what I did was I started with a base. And I didn't have any note or anything ready, so I just went over to here and clicked new. And I title it, okay, where we had so, you know, if I wanted to add Mr. Burns, and then I've made some properties already in previous notes, so they're here. So I have a base type. This is a character, right? So I know what base it goes into. So the property base type, I just type in characters, and I know, okay, so even when I look at this individual note, I know this goes to my character's bases, right? But originally, you won't have any properties. You just type the name. You can even type in the note if you want, right? And now we have Mr. Burns. Here's the Mr. Burns note individually. You know, here's the properties I talked about. Here's the property base type. You can add property tags right here if you want tags, and there are certain rules for that as well. And so now right in my base, because Mr. Burns has the property, has the character's property, shows up here. Now then, there's one other property I want to add. That is this checkbox, player info. And I'll get to that in a moment. But I'm going to leave that unchecked for now. So as you can see, in the master base, Mr. Burns shows up. In my info, the DM info, there's Mr. Burns. In the player info, there's only one character, because we have a different database view. And you can change how you view things by filtering. So for this database view, I'm like, okay, all the files that show up here need to have the property base type, and that base type is characters. So now anything with the characters base type will show up in the characters database. And you can add, you know, you can also have the properties be displayed if you want to. Like if I want to really show the base type, I can click here and have that show up on the entry list. And anytime you add a property, it will add into here. And so the player base, we have an extra filter. We have where the base type is characters and the player info checkbox is checked. And that's why we only have Robert Bob Business here, because he's the only character with the checkbox. And this is a way to do my players know this. When they know it, when they meet Mr. Burns, I hit the checkbox, and now Mr. Burns is in the player bases. And again, I can just click this. I can get a preview of the note. I can interact with the note right from the database. I don't have to go out of the database to add things. So yeah, so there's that's going to be my main view. So I wanted this at top. That's why I put at the 0, 1. And as you can see, because it's a note, it will unfold here and kind of give me a preview of what's going on. And I can do this. And no folders. Everything's organized. If Obsidian goes away, I may lose out the databases, but I still have properties of where I put it. Put the note that comes along with the note. If I were to export this, the properties come along. So I still know this is a character, and it's supposed to go with characters. Now, there are a couple things I'm still kind of figuring out with this. But that is the basic structure of that. And another thing I want to do is kind of redesign a GM screen in Obsidian. And that will be a little different, but I'll show you the basic idea of how that gets done. So first, you need tabs open. You don't want to open to the right. See how you can open to the right? Because that splits the window. So so we're moving topics. Let me shift here. So now we've shown the database. Moving to a topic of how I'm thinking about arranging a GM screen in Obsidian. And back to here. Okay, so you don't want to open to the right because this doesn't work. What I'm about to show you won't work. So you just open new tab. And you open up how many ever tabs you need. Say this is movement. This is actions you can take. This is how magic works. Whatever. But kind of doing this, well, that doesn't look as neat as going up to the right and the little downward caret here. Click that, and then click Stack Tabs. And now you have the tab name on the left here, and if you hold down Shift and use the mouse wheel, you can go through the tabs. If I had more tabs open, they would keep going. So if I were to open new tab, let's just open all of these. And so holding down Shift and the mouse wheel, I can go through these tabs just like this and flow right through them. Instead of going up here and clicking constantly between things, I can say, okay, I need to see movement. So let's get over to tab 1, movement. And here's my movement instructions. And then whatever I want will always be there, and the rest just kind of collapse. If you don't need them. So yes, shift and mouse wheel is a magical thing. This works in other programs too, not just Obsidian. But yeah, I thought this would be a great setup for a DM screen, because I could have, you know, the important bits here, or if I just want it to be centered, I just click on it. You know, I don't have to hit shift and mouse wheel. I can just click over what I want to see, and it'll open up for me. But yeah, shift and mouse wheel, vertical tabs are magical because you can do this. And so I'm going to set up a GM screen that I can do this with. And then that'll be another thing in my vault, you know, down here. Down here I'll probably have a thing that says GM screen and stuff. And then you can save this grouping. I believe you can save these bookmarks as a group, so that you can just open it up and have these pages ready to go. And then because these are notes, I could make a property and say, make the property GM screen. And then I have a base that says, okay, here's all my GM screen entries. And so I could click them, or I can go to this tab grouping and have them available all here. And then if you don't want this anymore, go back up to the downward caret, click it, unstack tabs, and everything returns to normal. But you can't scroll through them like you can with the vertical tabs on. All right, so that's the Obsidian stuff. Yay, no folders. You don't need folders to do things. Why? But so if you want to do that, you can. It doesn't have to be a TTRPG thing. It can be any thing where you have a lot of various data sets. But that is how I'm going to be arranging my thing. Now, the other thing with this is sharing with players gets a little more tricky, because in the current system I have available to everybody, you can just copy those files over. They're all in a folder for players already. You know, they're kind of organized into a category. Here, that's not so neat, and you might have to do a little digging to find the file if you wanted to export it. But if you had a way to share the database with your players, your Obsidian thing with your players, that'd be cool. Now, Obsidian is on their roadmap is a multiplayer. They call it multiplayer, so they're working on some kind of sharing thing. Gamzy, hello. Yes, no folders. You don't need them. They're useless. Throw them out. They're no good for your digital life. That sounds cursed. Right? Like, I would never do this for my hard drive. But in Obsidian, with the note-taking and things like that I do, and the way Obsidian works, folders aren't strictly necessary. You're wanting me to turn my digital space into a Doom box too? Well, you know, I say box of fun, you say Doom box. but welcome on in. Good to see you. But yes, I was showing off using... Good to finally be able to sit in for a stream. Yay! I was showing off my latest Obsidian Vault experiment, which is this. Where I have my DM info. I have all my characters in a database. And then in a note, I just give the property base type characters, and so when I look at my character view database, all the characters show up here. No folders. Everything's just kind of here sitting out. I've numbered things so that the numbers stay at the top, and then everything else will just fall below. I don't have to worry about anything that's below the numbers. Right? You want to use Obsidian for stream note taking? You've come to the right place. I also wonder if one can use it for studying. Yes. So, and if you have any questions on Obsidian, I use it every single day. So, I can show you what I do for Tech Friday real quick. Because when I've had Brian Urban Bohemian on, I've shared the Obsidian Vault, and so we can both write in it. And so here is the Tech Friday Vault. Ta-da! And so here I actually have folders. So when I have a guest on, I have run of show, so that we can go over. I have guest info. So this is where I keep notes in here on, Brian's email and their picture and things like that. I'm not going to show you. I have this other one, idea dump, just a general place for anything that kind of a catch-all. And then I have links. And so I have a 2026 link folder. And so I just make, I use one headline or one heading, and then the 3 heading for the thing. I type it underneath. I put the link below. And then when I open up the sidebar here, I can have, and I have the outline view, I can move these wherever I want to. So if I wanted to talk about this instead of title first, I can just move it above, and now that's the first thing I can talk about. So yeah, so every month, like I have May 29th, that's always going to be the top level heading. And then, there's May 22nd notes, May 15th notes. All that. So every time I do a Tech Friday, this database is open. And I started doing this in July of last year. So I've been doing Tech Friday for longer than July of last year, but yeah, that's when I started using Obsidian to do this with. And then so every month is a new note, and I just put in the particular Friday. As in, if you use Obsidian web clippers, you get the clippings folder. You can make a databases folder if you want bases to have a place, template folder for templates. And then I have my databases index, which I don't think I should show because it has some info on it. It has people info, so. Oh, no, it does not. Okay, cool. So I can show you the database I have. Because it just says Brian Urban Bohemian on it. I thought I might have other info, but I don't. So I have guests. And again, this is using what I was just showing. So a note with various bases in it. There's Brian. There's all the 2026 links. Every time I make I add a new note to the 2026 links folder. It just appears here in this list. Click it, and then here's all my 2025 links as well. So yeah, that's how I keep Tech Friday organized. Looks really convenient. It is. And then I have my personal vault, and I have vaults for testing and for TTRPG projects. And my main vault, I use community plugins to keep things organized in slightly different fashion. I'm trying to get to a different note. But yeah, so I use community plugins in my personal vault so I can have colors and icons and everything. But vaults I make, I try not to use community plugins because I want you to be able to use them with the base Obsidian experience. But yeah, if it's just for me, I use a bunch of plugins that that make things a little more convenient for me. All right, I'm going to take a break, run some ads, keep the pre-rolls away. So I'll be right back in 5 minutes, and then we'll... Oh, you know what? Pause. I forgot to do the outro for those watching the edited version. Let's do that real quick. Ahem. That's all for this week on Tech Friday. Thank you for watching. Please come back next week for another episode. Hit that like and subscribe button down there. And if you want more, that way. Playlist, Tech Fridays, and the subscribey thing over there. Do the things. All right. I'll see you all next week. Have a great time zone. I don't know when you're watching this. What do I care? As long as you're watching, it's fine. So see you later. Pause. All right, now let's take a break. So when we come back, we'll turn on some music. Anything we've talked about is open. Anything you want to discuss, if you want to talk about how horrible AI is, or TTRPG stuff, some tech thing you like, stationery, so pens, folders, papers, anything that fits in the stationery category, anime, movies, go for it. And I'll see you all in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, welcome on back, everybody. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for sticking around through the break. And now I'm going to look up various articles in case we missed anything. We'll start off with other tech news, but if you want to talk about anything we've talked about in chat or the other topics I mentioned before the break, feel free to put that in. It's July 4th weekend. I don't know if I'll be doing anything for the July 4th. It's going to be ridiculously hot out. I had heat stroke when I was a kid, so these temperatures and me shouldn't be. Right? Oh, right. That's a thing that's happening. Be safe, y'all. Yeah. Reminded Weird Al is an awesome human, as was known previously. Turned down work when he learned it was a commercial for AI. Yay! Awesome. Love to see it. Thankfully today my pain levels are down to manageable, so I might actually go to the gym after this. But the past couple days, pain just there was a thing I wanted to do on Wednesday, but I had no idea if the pain would just spike up, and so I opted not to. And I'm like, well. And then yesterday was a little better, but still kind of today doing good. So might be a all right time to go to the gym. Again, but yay, Weird Al. Oh, hey. If you like watching speedrun marathons that support charity, Summer Games Done Quick starts July 5th, which might actually be better than any fireworks show you're going to go see. Here's the article on Engadget. I like watching it. It's fun. So it usually goes for about a week. And they raise a lot of money for charity. Last year they raised over 2.4 million. So, yay. All right. Let's look at another site. Yeah, so tomorrow a friend of mine might be available to hang out with. Not sure on that. I'm not even sure what we do yet. So, but if it involves outdoors, it's not something I can do for very long. All right, let's look through tech news. I didn't see anything caught my eye, so let's look at tabletop role-playing news. And let's put up the usual suspects. Oh, the Ennies were announced. Or the nominees were announced. So if you want to see the list of nominees this year, this is on EN World. Have a lot of categories. Wow. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking through the list of everything. Ooh, they have a lot of. There are a lot of categories to this. Okay. All right, and let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, let's see. Okay, we talked about some of this stuff last week. Okay, so here is something. There is a steampunk RPG called Space 1889, which is sort of steampunk Victorian stuff. It's been out for a while. And then and I had thought this had already come out, but there was a 5e compatible edition called Space 1889 After. That was a couple years ago. But they're doing a kind of an update to those and So not exactly a reprint, but an updated version. So it's going to be the same title. There's the article on TTRPG fans. So if you like stuff like Jules Verne, Edgar Rice Burroughs, and other things like that, and they take Victorian era and, you know, you're in space, and it's the late 1800s, so... It'll be the reprint of the core rulebook, and along with the new adventure anthology. Oh, hey, there is a charity bundle. Indie charity bundle for accessibility in TTRPGs. It's pay what you want, and all donation goes to the Dots RPG project. So you can check that out over on itch. There you go. Has 45 items, regularly $111. And again, it's pay what you want, so yeah. If any of these titles look interesting, pick it up. Yeah, what else? Accessibility toolkits looking good? Yeah. Okay. When was this published? Oh, this was published just yesterday. So there is a... That is a very weird ad to get in a normal thing, and I don't think I can show it on screen. Okay. Ad stop playing. Wait, where is that audio coming from? It's coming from here. Mute tab. Mute tab. Mute site. Okay. Didn't ask you to play audio. But that ad audio had nothing to do with the with the graphical ad I'm looking at, and yeah, it's... And the thing that gets me is that this is called Home Essentials. I think I'll put it in Discord after my after stream here. So let me grab a screenshot, because yeah, I don't feel comfortable showing this on stream. But hey, if they want to call these things home essentials, sure. It is. I mean, depending on what they are, I might consider them essential. But I am also a menace. Well, okay, I'll describe one thing. It's a leather bodice with buckles, and it has the boob window is completely gone. And that is a home essential. Not essential in my home, but a perk, certainly. So yeah, there's 3 or 4 images that I'm like, okay. Again, not that I'm against such things. It's just weird to be appearing in an article about TTRPGs. I don't understand, because the article is about solo TTRPGs and has nothing to do with any of that. And what is going on? And as I remove tracking from things, the more my ads lean towards the adult. That could be. So since I am getting into solo TTRPGs, it's a good list. I will put it in chat, but your ad experience may vary. Which is weird, as the social morality makes adult content hard, right? Like, what is going on? It's so bizarre. Again, fine with it. It's just, why was it there? Why was it in that article? Let's see. Almost all ads you see are for this one sleep mask you looked at like 3 weeks ago. TTRPGs are of a certain inclination sometimes. This is true. Oh, JetPens put up a new video last night for their best stationery of June. Good LARPer Renfair might make use of some of home essential leather goods. Yes, this is. Let's see if I can call up the jet pens. Clicked out of curiosity. The ad I got was for YouTube TV World Cup promotion, and it was all in Spanish. Huh. Well, all right. All right, so here is the video for jet pens. Again, bookmark it, watch it after the stream. And there was one product on here. That's awesome, JD Lee. Let's see. Where are they? Where are they? Yeah, so tiny pens. Look at them. They are tiny pens. Oh, somehow I got... Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of the tracking stuff in that link. And post again. There we go. Click this one. Tiny pens! I need tiny... Right? They look great, too. I love all the colors. Under 4 millimeters wide and just over 9 centimeters long. And in Discord, JD Lady pointed out that they are small. The thing to be aware of with small pens is that they don't hold as much ink. So, like, okay, yeah. But tiny pen. I mean, how often do you write, right? Tiny pen. Yeah. They're great. Like the copper. Copper and the dark blue. Look really nice. Okay, what time is it? Oh, we got time to hang out yet. Let's see. All right, gonna look at some Discord, see if there's any products. Oh, there's a new switcher to look at. Let me hold on. May have to check this out. Let's see here. Have you ever covered writing tablet stuff before? Yeah, recently I went over writer decks. That was just a few weeks ago. And yeah, the merging of writing to tech, yeah. And the reason I talk about Obsidian a lot is because I really like it, and I write exclusively in Markdown, so all my writing is done using Markdown and in Obsidian. But let me get to my videos here. I did have one that was author tools as well. Let me see if I can find that stuff. Handwriting to digital file. No, I haven't really used the handwriting stuff a lot. So but that Tech Friday is about tools for authors, at least that were available at that time. And I talk about writer's deck somewhere. Tabbed up for later. Yay! Yeah, somewhere. I talked about my writer deck setup. So I just don't see the video right now because I didn't name it writer decks. It's in something else. But anyway, I don't know if you've seen writer decks or not, but they are super expensive, tiny little things that have a keyboard and a screen, and they're $500 on up. And their only purpose is that you write and you have this tiny screen. My eyes wouldn't be able to work with that screen. So a laptop, a less functional laptop with a even tinier screen. We're talking about 3-4 inches wide, sometimes e-ink, usually black and white. But just all it does is write. And I was like, I don't know who convinced people a singular function laptop. Exactly. I don't know who convinced people that these very expensive things would be needed for writing. So, but if you like it, fine. There is one of these options that I can see why someone would want that for lack of distraction, but also, right? Like if it helps you, great, use it. But they are so expensive. I mean, some of them can be, you can set up a good focus mode, exactly. Some of them can be up to I've seen one like $5,000, and I'm just like, why? Plus, I also talked about posture and how, since it's a little thing, your head's going to be down like this, and you're just causing yourself neck strain. But before I get into what I use, there is one of these that is coming out or just came out recently called Bioc. Bring your own keyboard. It's tiny. What I like about it is you get to bring whatever keyboard you want to it. It's cheaper than a writing deck, regular writer deck. It's still like $200 or so, but you can get it. It's made so you can get a stand and position it where it's good for your eyes. You know, it doesn't have to be way down here, kind of angled up at a thing. So there's that. They also have software called Studio that they kind of want you to use along with it, but you don't have to. You can just, they're just files you can export. So that's the writer deck thing I like. But my solution, I mean, you could also make something like that with Raspberry Pi or similar, right? Yeah. So I got a 11-inch tablet and an Android tablet, and since I write everything in Obsidian, it had to be something that runs Obsidian, or at least, you know, Markdown. So Android tablet, put Obsidian on it. I took off everything that I don't need, and I got a small wireless keyboard thanks to the community. And so now I have my own dedicated writer station and a tablet that is for reading and writing only. And I spent way less than any of those writer decks. Plus, I can get a stand for the tablet and I can put it up at a good height to see it. Me opens link, sees Bayek. Neiman, what is this, right? I mean, I just kind of like the idea behind it, but yeah, I've been looking at writer decks for a while now, and this is really the only one where I'm like, okay, this is a good price. You know, it's $199. So it's okay price, and you can position it. Concept of singular use for focus makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But also, no, you can set up a current device for that already. Exactly. That's why I have a tablet and and a keyboard. And for that small of a screen, yeah. See. So, my eyes hurt in sympathy, right? Let's see, where is the... Is this still available? All right, so here is a company called Freewrite. And let's see, what else? Oh, let's see if I can find their... Okay, so what they call their smart typewriter costs $700. There's the link. Take a look at the device and what you're getting for $700. Who are these people, right? Oh no, the caps are understandable. That's fine. And if you want their, I'd rather use $700 to buy an actual typewriter, right? Then you can actually see what you're typing. Exactly. But yeah, there are YouTube videos of people who swear by these things. Feel like is free as part of your. See, do they still have? But yeah, these are all. Just like, listen, bro, you can get a Bluetooth keyboard and connect it to your smartphone for the same experience, right? And that was something I considered doing because I can get Obsidian, since Obsidian works on Android, I could use my phone, if I wanted the tiny screen Biac thing. But no, I kind of did want a more dedicated, and I'm going to set up a desk over there, and that'll be kind of my writing station, and I'll use Obsidian, and I'll have a dedicated writing vault, but actually better experience because you have a bigger screen. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of writer decks are over 200 or just small, and I'm like, yeah, that's. So yeah, all right. What was I looking at here? I was looking at this. What is this? Okay. I'm looking at a video switcher. Interesting. All right. Generally understand the singular focus tech device, but it's also just making more things to sell for little reason. Yeah, I agree. What do we have for ports and things? Sadly, that's the end game of tech nowadays. We have very few revolutionary products versus here's one more thing you probably don't need. Yeah. but we made a really cool product video and website for it, right? Oh, what time we? Oh, we still got a few minutes left. I'm just looking over anything else. So yes, any time you want to come talk about Obsidian, come here, because I may do a lot of that. Let's see. All right, I'm going to look at discords of products I tend to follow, see if they have anything new. No big announcements coming up. Need to be brave and just start using it. Yeah, it's great. I like it. And there's a lot of videos up on YouTube about it, and there are quite a few articles. And if you check out previous Tech Fridays, I talk about it. I have the app on my phone, and it's on my PC too. I've had it for like a year. Yeah, once I got used to Markdown, everything else kind of fell in place. And while I have it up, there's a basic syntax guide to Markdown. So, other thing that came up now that Obsidian's on my brain. Well, okay, when isn't it? Let's be fair. But the service I use to share the vault is going away in September. And they're shutting it all down. So now I'm like, well, what do I do? So I'm looking for different solutions too. I have a guest on, like Brian. I want to share the vault, the Tech Friday note, so we can have a space to collaborate on the show. So I'm trying to find different solutions for that. And I may have one in a service called Jotbird. There's a free tier and a paid, but it's like $30 a year, so that's fine. You can use Jotbird on its own if you just want to write Markdown on the web. But there's also an Obsidian plugin for it, so that I could share a link, and you're just going to the Jotbird website, like It's a Jotbird link, and can just write it there. So yeah, this might be the way I go. And this is by the same guy who wrote the Markdown guide I just posted. And that Markdown guide's been there for a long time now. So yeah, and the other thing I like about Obsidian is that since everything is local and it's all just text files, essentially, you can open a Markdown file in any text editor and still understand what's going on. So if Obsidian, something that happened to Obsidian, I still have all my notes on my machine, and yeah. That's one of the bigger advantages for me. All right. I think it's time I get some dinner. That's a relief, at least. Yeah. Like the bases and the backlinks and things like that. But that's fine. If I had to switch to something else, I still have all the core data in files, and I make regular backups of those files. So all my creative writing work in that space is at. What's for dinner? Ooh, that's a good question. I have macaroni salad and sandwiches. Yeah, like a little ham and cheese sandwich. Got like a 4-pack at the grocery store. They're on a bun. Easy supper. And then after that, it might be gym time because I am feeling all right. Pain's gone down quite a bit, so I try at least to go to the gym now twice a week, and so today would be my second week. So yay, less pain, yeah. So going today would be my second time of the week going. So let's see. All right, let's see who we have on to read. If anybody... Oh yeah, Tanya's on Cypher of Tear, so we will go raid over there. Sandwich and Jim sounds like a pretty nice wrap up to the day. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Really appreciate it. So I will be back Monday we'll probably be playing Mina the Howler again because I really like that game. It's a lot of fun. And programming note, I will be away the weekend of July 17th, so there won't be a Tech Friday that weekend. And then July 29th through August 2nd, I'll be at Gen Con. So from July 29th, that's a Wednesday. So through that Friday, no streams then either. So that probably be the only interruption, the summary time. There might be some interruptions to the schedule in the fall. But that's what's going on currently. Also, as I said, if you're going to Gen Con, I'll be at Gen Con. My panel sold out, so you can come by and say hi. And all that. But yeah, producer panel sold out. I'm still working on my new presentation, which the new presentation uses Obsidian. Don't fall, you'll hurt yourself. Right? But yeah, the new presentation uses Obsidian and Excalidraw, so and I'm very happy with it, how it's progressing. All right, let's raid on out of here so I can go eat and relax. And then when I come home from the gym, I'm gonna put on riff tracks and watch bad movies and yeah, just have a good old time. Okay. So, thank you all for being here. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll see you all on Monday. Stay tuned for the raid.